Okay, we're taking a look at the Vox AC100, and we're just plugged straight into it with a Strat copy with a humbucker and 2 single coils. It's just plugged into a stock Marshall cabinet. No greenbacks. Just has regular Celestians in there. It has really a very nice clean sound. It's got that Vox, clean sound. It's just a good bit louder than an AC30 or an AC15. And of course, if you plug it into different speaker combinations, like I would say maybe an open back, or a cabinet that has a top open and a bottom that's enclosed, then you can get some different flavors out of it. It will sound more like an AC30 if you use like an open back 212. And so the clean channel is pretty nice. If you crank up on the gain, you can get a vintage Marshall sound on it. So channel 1 can be a dirty channel if you want, like 2 gain channels out of the amp. You can have it that way and switch from like a rhythm channel 1 to a lead channel 2. It'll definitely give you that. It has a really nice note definition. Even when you crank the volume up, you can hear all the the notes ringing clearly. Even with complex chords, there's no mud at all. It's just nice and tight and clean. It's got that Vox softness to it, so it's not like biting. You don't have a biting high end or anything. And it's got this tone cut. And if you go toward one way, you get less treble. If you go toward the other way, you get more bass. And I find that as you crank the volume, that instead of re-cueing everything, you can just use that to fine-tune your sound, and it works perfectly. So it really is, that's a very useful feature. And it's pretty spanky. So like, you can get some really funky tones out of it, And by the way, channel 1 loves pedals. Just any pedal you put on it sounds great. We'll show you a little bit more of the pedals a little later. Okay, so now that we've established that it has a great clean sound, what I want to do is I want to come down a little bit on the channel volume on channel 1, and let's just bring the gain up and let's give you a little bit of gnarl. About halfway on the gain, it starts to break up pretty nice. That's up on the front pick. If we switch down, you know, you get a little bit more gain with the humbucker. And you know, you can clean it right up by switching back up to the single coil and just lighten up. It still has a little bit of gnarl. Just depends on how you pick it, and that's pretty cool. That's a really useful feature. Okay, so now we're all the way up on the gain on channel 1. I mean, it's got chunk, no slop in the low end. It's tight, but it's fat. It's a really fat sound. And now we'll switch up to the single coil here. Now let's crank the volume of the guitar back to halfway, and we're still up on the front single coil. Gain all the way up. So it's very dynamic in respect to the way you pick and how you manipulate the, you know, how much signal basically is going into the amp, like, you know, when you lower the volume control, and that's really cool. And then you can crank right back up. That's pretty cool. It's just got a really great channel 1. I mean, it'll give you, you know, all kinds of sounds out of there.